All a lie. Everything we've been taught in the American education system is all a lie. Yes, Native Americans weren't the original people of this land. We actually took it from black people. We were so good at it that we just wiped out any trace of their language and their culture.
Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Now in this video, I want us to take a look at shocking revelations which are surfacing, challenging the very fabric of American history and identity. Now a Native American has come forward, acknowledging that the land was stolen from its original inhabitants, Black Americans. This B-shell admission contradicts the traditional narrative taught in American schools, sparking a heated debate about the true history of the continent. But that's not all. A stunning twist has emerged, with some news outlets suggesting that Native Americans may not be considered American citizens. Detentions and deportation rumors are swelling, leaving many in the Native American community reeling. Now, one speaker claims that the government has deemed Native Americans no longer an asset, citing their origins in Siberia and the federal subsidies they receive. The implications are profound. If Native Americans are not indigenous to this land, what does this mean to their rights, their identity, and their place in American society? So with that said, let's take a look at these videos. I will be right back.
Well, now I done seen everything. Apparently, Native Americans might not be American citizens. And this is according to the latest news from multiple news outlets. You can Google it yourself. But essentially, there's the group of people that are trying to do whatever they're trying to do. And the first point of attack is to illegitimize Native Americans from being Americans. So yeah, there's that. And happy Friday or something.
All right, y'all, news is coming in fast. I got some breaking news right here. The Native Americans are also being targeted in the deportation. They're being detained. And why is that? Well, the government has no more need for them. They was on federal land. Those reservations are federal subsidized land. They get checks from the government. And they also were brought here from Siberia. Check out the Siberians. Pay attention. And the government also is very aware that they don't have the birthright that they thought they had. No, because you were brought here, you're no longer an asset to them. They know who the indigenous people is. You see what I'm saying? Oh, this is about to get real. The reason it's about to get real is because when the real indigenous black people are shown to be the true people of this land, I mean, they're going to owe you back every bit of those taxes that you and your ancestors had to pay. See, we don't want reparations. We want restoration. We want everything you stole from us, the land included. See?
This might not be American citizens.
No, Sherlock. We've been trying to tell y'all this for the longest time, but you always call us wabos. Hello. Welcome to the real world now. Huh? Welcome to reality. The truth of the matter is that they were using y'all to get to us. The palm-colored folks. Exactly. And y'all fell for it. And now that they don't have any use for you anymore, bye-bye. Back to Siberia, Mongolia, you go. Hey, it wasn't us. You should have stuck to, stuck with us. Hey, sometimes the underdogs come out on top. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be quick about this, but if you go through the historical record, if you read the words of Benjamin Franklin, Ferdinand when he came to South America, if you read the words of Christopher Columbus when he first landed in the Caribbean and came to the Americas, he explicitly said that America was the land of the copper-colored peoples. You understand what copper is, right? So I understand what we were taught in school, and I understand what they show us in movies, but if you look up the difference between the term indigenous and the term native, though similar, they're not synonymous. You see, a native is someone that is born in a specific location. So if I move to Germany, matter of fact, my oldest daughter, Jakina, she was born in Italy at Vicenza Air Force Base. So What that means is that technically, ethnically, because she has dual citizenship, she's Italian, right? And she's native to Italy because she was born there. You understand? But that doesn't make her Italian. You see where I'm going with this? So, though she may be a native Italian, she's still an indigenous American. You understand? So, natives are born on the land, but indigenous come from the land and originate there. You understand? You see where this is going? So, and I'm not trying to be rude, but go on, you know what? I'll let you do it, because if you actually are one of those individuals, you know the truth, because, the Cherokee Nation voted years back to have certain people removed from the rolls. One of those people that Jesse Jackson just happens to be a card-carrying member of. So again, this is the land of the copper-colored people. And, copper goes through many different complexions, from light golden brown to... And this resonates, by all means, like, comment, subscribe.
Hi, it's me again. I just wanted to come and tell you guys the information that I know about this. So firstly, you guys should learn Latin. It's the easiest language to learn. Or Old Britain. It's the easiest language to read. Both of those languages are the easiest languages to read. Or you could just use Chat GPT or Google Translate to figure it out. Let me tell y'all something. I've been trying to tell people that Native Americans are not native to America ever since I was a child. These people know nothing about the land. They know nothing about building. They know nothing about, how to get their resources out of the land. They know nothing about this land. And no one ever questioned, are they really from here? But let me give y'all a little history lesson. In the 1300s, the Native Americans came over here with the Britons to invade our land. Yes, they did. They came over here to rape, pillage, murder, rob, steal, and destroy. And they were supposed to be extra help for Great Britain's missionaries, or whatever they call the people that they send out to go and do their dirty work. So they brought the Mohawks with them, which is why you always see those Native Americans with that Mohawk type stuff. They brought the Mohawks here with them to invade our country. And most of the Mohawks came from, get this, most of them came from, I forget, but it's Bulgaria. I think it's Bulgaria. Most of them came from Bulgaria. So if you Google Bulgarian people, or even Polish, Bulgarian and Polish, that's what their ancestry is. If you Google those people, you will see what we call Native Americans. And this has been a hoax for hundreds and hundreds of years, because they erased the knowledge, they burnt down everything, they confiscated everything, they changed everything, painted over it, scraped over it to make it look like this was a real story. But I'm here to tell you, just like the veil is being lifted, I've been telling you guys for years. Native Americans are not native to America. They are native to somewhere else. And they came over here with the invaders to help cleanse the land of the original people. Y'all know why they did this? Because we are in front of the gates of prosperity and the gates of blessings. This particular land is. And that is why Black Americans are so important to the world. That's why they're the most hated. That's why they're the most berated. That is why everything. Because our land, the land of prosperity, peace, and harmony, they don't want us to have it. They know that that's where God set his people. Talking about they kicked us out the kingdom. No, we've been here the whole time. They didn't kick us out no Garden of Eden. This is it. Y'all invaded it. Nobody kicked us out. Y'all invaded it and poisoned it. So, just to wrap this up, y'all, start calling them by what they're supposed to be called. The ancestors of the Native Americans are the Mohawks, and they are from not here. So let's just start calling it what it is. I'm so glad that somebody else is finally finding out, because it was so hard to have this information and everybody think I was crazy or a hater. But that's what you get. Now y'all know the truth. You're welcome.
Well, technically, you are not Americans, because your people were here before the word American was even developed. And you don't pay any American taxes. Now, I'm not saying anything about the Native Americans having a bad whatever. We all know the story. All right, we all know the Trail of Tears and all that. The thing is that you don't pay taxes, and you have the land that they gave you under certain guidelines, of course, to do with what you will. And you chose to preserve that land, and we thank you for that. But the thing is that you're native to the land, not America. America is what took over your land. So you're not American. So you need to calm down.
Yes, Bubs. This is correct, Bubs. This is absolutely correct. My people, Black Americans, have been trying to tell people this for a very long time. Decades. So, all things, there's nothing that's hid that won't be revealed. I forgot the scripture. I just posted it too. It's like Luke something, I forgot, but it's basically like, well, it basically says what's in the dark will come to light. All things will be revealed. Everything. And it's clear that the Most High is revealing all things in their last days. Because this ain't the end times. I made a video the other day. Lit, dude. Black Americans, the real indigenous Americans, the real Jews, the real children of Israel, right? Are about, the Black American man is about to inherit earth. Being from the same tribe as Jesus Christ or Yahweh Shah or Yahusha or Yeshaya. So yeah, all things are being revealed. And it's the Father's doing. It's the Father's doing. Praise Yahuwah. All praises to the Most High.
In all honesty, Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship would overturn more than a century of precedent. President Donald Trump said since his first administration that he wants to end birthright citizenship, a constitutional right for everyone born in the United States. Now, he issued an executive order that would eliminate it, appending more than a century of precedent. On Thursday, however, a federal judge temporarily blocked it after 22 states quickly mounted a legal challenge. Over the years, the right to citizenship has been won by various oppressed or marginalized groups after hard-fought legal battles. Now, here's a look at how birthright citizenship has applied to some of those cases and how the Justice Department is using them today to defend Trump's order. Let's take a look at the citizenship for Native Americans. Now, Native Americans were given U.S. citizenship in 1924. The Justice Department had cited their status as a legal analogy to justify Trump's executive order in court. Now, arguing that birth in the United States does not by itself entitle a person to citizenship, the person must also be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. It raised a case from 1884 that found members of Indian tribes are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and are not constitutionally entitled to citizenship, the department said. It's not a good or even new legal argument, said Gerard L. Newman, a professor of international, foreign, and comparative law at Harvard Law School. But it's got a bigger political movement behind it, and it's embedded in a degree of openly expressed xenophobia and prejudice. Now, some say the legal analogy to the citizens of tribal nations plays directly into that. It's not a valid comparison, said Leo Chavez, a professor and author at the University of California, who studies international migration. It's using the heat of race to make a political argument rather than a legal argument. They are digging into old archaic Indian law cases, finding the most R to the 6 points they can in order to win, said Matthew Fletcher, a professor of law at the University of Michigan and a member of the Grand Traverse Band of Ottawa and Chippewa Indians. There is nothing sacred in the Department of Justice. They'll do anything they can to win. Now, birthright citizenship of Native Americans is being questioned by the Trump administration. Questions about whether Native Americans born in the United States have birthright citizenship if they aren't subject to the jurisdiction of the U.S., such as if they live on sovereign tribal land, were raised in a U.S. Justice Department filing this week, defending President Donald Trump's executive order suspending such citizenship. However, the arguments are based on 19th century legal provisions that precede the Indian Citizenship Act of 1924 passed by Congress, which established citizenship for Native Americans who were previously excluded by the Constitution. It also appears the argument would have little current impact on Alaska Natives since the only reservation is in Metlakatla. However, tribal officials are seeking to establish Indian country rights over parcels of land, which took a notable step forward when a federal judge ruled last year the Department of the Interior can take land into trust on behalf of Alaska tribes. Now, the Trump administration's actions were enough for the president of the Central Council, Tlingit and Haida Indian Tribes of Alaska to share in a Facebook post an article by the news site Salon that first reported the story. Where do we get deported to? Peterson wrote in a subsequent comment. Now, the Justice Department's filing is in response to one of several lawsuits by at least 22 states to Trump's order, with a federal judge on Thursday issuing a 2-week restraining order. While the intent of the executive order is to target U.S.-born children of foreign parents, the Justice Department references Native Americans in the attempt to legally justify the president's decree. The key phrase is a clause in the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution that states, "All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside." Now, under the plain terms of the clause, birth in the United States does not by itself entitle a person to citizenship. The Justice Department filing argues the person must also be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. In addition, according to the filing, the Civil Rights Act of 1866 states, "All persons born in the United States and not subject to any foreign power, excluding Indians not taxed, are hereby declared to be citizens of the United States." Now, the filing also references the 1884 U.S. Supreme Court case Elk v. Wilkins, where the court ruled 7-2 because members of Indian tribes owe immediate allegiance to their tribes. They are not subject to the jurisdiction of the United States and are not constitutionally entitled to citizenship. The United States' connection with the children of illegal aliens and temporary visitors is weaker than its connection with members of Indian tribes. If the latter link is insufficient for birthright citizenship, the former certainly is, the Justice Department filing argues. Now, according to research, yes, Native Americans are believed to have migrated to the Americas from Siberia across the Bering Land Bridge, and this migration is thought to have occurred between 30,000 and 12,000 years ago. Beginning about 20,000 years ago, people living in Siberia journeyed across the Bering Strait into Alaska and spread south through the Americas. Sea levels were much lower at the time, allowing hunter-gatherers to traverse a frozen land bridge into the new continent or boat along its coast. When the last ice age ended about 11,500 years ago and glaciers melted, the Bering Sea rose and divided the two continents, but migrants continued to arrive, mixing with and replacing earlier groups to shape the modern genetic landscape of indigenous Americans. By 5,000 years ago, people had settled across Alaska and northern Canada. Now, from the admission of the Native American man acknowledging that they indeed took the land from its original inhabitants, to the startling revelation from my research that Native Americans migrated from Siberia, the conversation has taken a dramatic turn. But what's even more disturbing is the sentiment expressed by some of the speakers who are saying that Native Americans are no longer needed, no longer assets, and are now being discarded. The implication that they were merely pawns used against Black Americans is just another painful reminder of the complex and troubled history of this land. So now I turn to you, our viewers. What are your thoughts on this topic? Do you agree that Native Americans were used as a tool of oppression against Black Americans? Share your thoughts, your contributions as well in the comment section. Thank you for always watching and see you in our next video as I bring you another interesting video.